everyone. Today was our large market in DC, which is about a little over an hour for us to attend. I was really looking forward to it. Promised high traffic, thousands of people. And I just want to say that part was true. There were a lot of people. This market was on the street. I'm sorry, I wish I could tell you which street it was. I don't know anything about DC really. But there was a lot of foot traffic, a lot. The problem was we didn't see it. So let's start at the beginning. 5:30 up, 7:30 out the door. Got to location 8:45. Between 8:45 and 9 o'clock we were supposed to be there. And I apologize if you see anything going on. We're driving home. We get there, and what I thought, which ended up being correct, was where we were supposed to check in. Some lady was blocking it, so I didn't know what was going on. So I went around the block again, came back. This time I called the gentleman who was in charge and was asking him, like, where do we go? And at first he was kind of like annoyed with my question, but then I was like, well, some lady was blocking it. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. So then, he cleared that up. Get out, ask him where he would like me to set up. That alone took about 10 to 15 minutes. Usually the markets I've done, the people already know where we're going to be. Hey, you're at spot blah, 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 between blah, blah, blah. Everything's all laid out. You just need to be there. Thank you. I've never done a market where I had to be told, where to go in the moment. And what ended up happening is people who were showing up after me were getting placed before me. And I'm sitting there like, can you please tell me where I need to go? Because at this point, I've lost 15 minutes of setting up. And it's just me and my daughter. And I need to make sure I can get everything set up in time for this event that's happening in about an hour. So, finally get set up. But you would think I'd be set up along the strip with all the other vendors. No. I was set up in a parking lot. And a parking lot that was by, I guess, a utility building. I don't know. It was some building. But either way, I was on the other side of that, which means you couldn't see us. You had no idea we existed, that we were present. It was... Because initially he told us, put it in front of these posts that were there, these barriers. Which I was like, okay, someone's, going to see us or whatever. And I'm still thinking other people are showing up to set up. And then he comes back through and is like, no, you can't do that because people are still going to be using this parking lot. You have to go behind the posts. So I'm like irritated at this point because we're almost, I think at that point we were mostly set up. So now I have to move my tent. Now we have to move the tables. It's a whole to do. Get that done. The gentleman helps out and everything. And time passes or whatever. Well, what I thought was going to be more vendors showing up. No. And actually that's a lie because more vendors did show up, but somehow they still ended up on the main street while we were still in the parking lot. So, 11 o'clock rolls around, traffic, like people are walking through, but it's nothing serious yet. Then you start seeing it picking up as, the day progresses. And I can see people at these different tents. There's one guy, he's got a whole buttload. I'm so sorry. I keep seeing how dirty my glasses are. And it's bothering me, but I'm driving, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. But he's got people constantly, just steadily rolling through. The other side of the parking lot, I can see another vendor who I believe was selling like crocheted, squishy animal type things. Loaded with people. There's a lady who somehow managed to get placed before me. She showed up after me. She and her friend or whoever were doing glass art. Loads of people. I'm heated. My daughter's like, I don't want to be here. I'm like, I did not spend the money I did to come out here and not have anybody see me. Like, the whole point was, you're telling me thousands of people are going to be here, and there were people up and down that street, but nobody knows we're here. So then the gentleman who was helping out comes back around. He's like, maybe you should move these here and this here, and people might see it. That helped a very, very small percentage. The amount of people we saw today, and I'm not joking, was roughly 30, could have been less, that actually came to our table and actually looked at our stuff. Yeah. Out of the masses of people that were walking up and down that street, because it was also right off from the metro, we saw about 30. Now, luckily for us, out of that 30, a third of them bought something. Luckily for us. So, did I make back the fee for that event? Yes. Did I make a profit? No. I actually ended up being short because in DC, there's parking, right? You have to pay for parking. So I had to pay for parking several times for the amount of time there. I didn't want to take a chance of parking somewhere I shouldn't. Ended up getting a ticket. Not to mention, I had to leave my daughter to stay at the tent, and I didn't want to park so far away that she was by herself, for these long extended periods of time. So, yeah, not to mention, I had to pay for gas, which although it is going down, it is still extremely high, and yeah, we lost money coming to this event. So the young man came back, and I know he could tell that I was beyond upset. And he asked, he was like, any feedback? I was like, yeah. I mean, I can't be seen if I'm in a parking lot. Like, I have to be, seen on, like, with everybody else. He's like, well, we were supposed to have more vendors, and I guess those vendors were supposed to come through. But I feel like as soon as you realize those people weren't showing up, and I was literally there with no foot traffic, you could have put me somewhere else before those people came after me then. Like, today did not sit well with me. We've paid for 2 more Saturdays because it was like this package thing. And because the guy was like, you should get here early. And I was like, I was. He was like, some of these people, I was like, I was here early. And he was like, you're right, you were. And I was like, yeah, I was here early enough to have a good space. But for some reason, I was not given that. I don't know if the man forgot about me. I don't know. Because like I said, it took 10, 15 minutes for him to even tell me where to set up. So today was a bust. I'm tired. This was my first weekend after being back from spring break. So I'm already mentally drained. And then to have today happen was just, it was a lot. It was a lot. Our small business, I feel, could have done so well if we were seen. Because the people who bought stuff from us, they loved it. We got compliments. But again, the percentage that saw us today was insane. So I didn't even take pictures. Let's get to that. I didn't even take pictures of today's event. I even had my stationery. I also do stationery, as you know. So I had that out. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. So now it's a time of day where the traffic is insane, and it's now taking us what was just over an hour. It's taking us almost 2 hours to get home. So yeah, today was a loss. And I had such high hopes for today. I missed out on my son's football game here today. I don't like missing my children's events. And I did not have to miss his today. So, hopefully the next one I do is, a good one. The next one we will do is for a step show. We're vendors for that, so hopefully that will do well. But I wish my first vlog for a large market was a good one, and unfortunately it's not. So if you're a vendor, let me know if you've had the same thing happen to you. We're just trying to do our thing. But we can't do it if we're not put in a place to succeed. So I hope everyone has a much better Saturday than I've had so far. We still have Sunday, so I hope you all enjoy it. And like I said, our next one, our next one is not a step show. Our next one is this coming weekend. We're doing an event for a school, so my hope is that goes better. So see you guys next time. Bye.